What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today I'm going to be playing another Pete Dye design course. The course today is going to be Rancho Santa Fe Farms Golf Club in Rancho Santa Fe, California. This was completed, designed and completed by Pete Dye in 1988. There was a bunch of tee box options. We're playing from the furthest back like always, so most likely similar to all the other Pete Dye courses. Going to probably be pretty long and relatively challenging, so we'll see what happens score wise. I don't want to put any kind of goals like I usually do for the top 59 holes, but honestly anywhere. They're pretty close to PGA championship level courses, so anywhere under about bogey golf or better, won't be terribly disgusted with. But gonna get started. Like always, Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand with both the horizontal and vertical as level as I can be. Country Club Elite mat, my DIY stance mat over here. Today I'm going with the Volvic Vivid, another one of those matte, almost sticky tacky finishes on the outside golf ball. I actually found this last round on course, so giving this one a go. I played with it one time a few days ago when I had a buddy over here and we played some simulator golf, and I did like it. Pretty similar to the Callaway ball, so if I'm able to find these and they actually make them still with this outside tacky cover, I may end up buying some of those. But 10x7 nets, and then home tee hero that you're seeing on screen. I'm again live on TikTok as I'm recording this, so I just have to walk back and forth a little bit, and you may hear me answer a few questions and whatnot and comments of people saying stuff. But we're gonna get started. First hole, we got 366 par 4. It's looking like a dogleg left. We're gonna aim maybe a little bit further up here, see if we can cut the corner just a tad. We'll see what happens. First driver swing of the day. Like always, I hit some 9-irons before just to get the R10 all calibrated and adjusted and get the back warmed up a little bit. It is relatively, for fall time here in New England, it's pretty nice out today. It's about 75 degrees, or it's going to be, and actually relatively humid, so I already have a little bit of a sweat going. Should help the swing speed in the back not get quite as sore, but I'm going to see if I can play a few rounds out here today. But hopefully we can get off to a good start here with the driver. That was left. That was low left and off the heel. That's going to be messing with those trees on the left, unfortunately. Looked like we found an opening, but we might get blocked out here. So second shot, we've got 96 yards. Unfortunately, we're kind of behind this tree, so I could do a punch towards the right, but I think I'm yeah, lucky golfer back at it again. It is a nice day over here, so I'm trying to take advantage. So we got 96 yards, down 3, so we're at 93, and then we'll call it another 10 because we're in the rough, so 103. I'm going to go choke down pitching wedge and see if I can maybe get something up and over that tree towards the green. Still working on lowering that ball flight. It's going to be a constant slow progression, but lately with my slightly flaring out my left foot, opening the club just a tad, a little bit of a stronger grip, and playing it towards my back with a little bit more of a forward lean and forward press. Been making some better contact as of late, so we'll see if that continues here. Need a good 103-yard shot or so. Oh, and that was not what we were looking for. Almost completely missed the ball. Horrible top. It'd be nice if Garmin didn't even pick it up. Let's see if it registered. Luckily it did not, so it looks like we got a mulligan. That was horrendous. Hopefully that doesn't happen too much more. That was better. Still caught it a little heavy. That's gonna fade to the right. I don't know if I put enough on it to have that go 100 yards, but Yeah, we came up short. 69, nice. I don't know if we caught that tree or not, but I hit that heavy anyways, so waste of a stroke. But we got 27 yards left, down one, so we're at 26, and then I'll add another, call it 3, because we're in the rough. So looking right around 29, 30 yards. Gonna go 56 degree. A little heavy again, but that should at least be on the green. It might be front side. Not too bad, a little short. That felt about 25 versus 30, but par to start it off, lucky with that +1. Second hole, we've got a par 3. We've got 177 yards down 3, so we're at 174. We got that river, looks like the green sloping from left to right. 174. It's kind of right between an 8 and a 7. I think I'm going to go take the half a club more, go a little bit of a smoother 7 versus trying to add a little yardage to the 8. But we'll see. If I start hitting some long, I may have to adjust that strategy a little bit going forward. I raked some leaves again out here beforehand, trying not to move a whole lot of mulch and put it into the woods more so than I had to, but I have a little bit of a worry of possibly the Garmin. It's probably not the best to have leaves, even if their leaves are falling or slightly moving because of the wind, anywhere between the R10 and the ball, but kind of is what it is. Seems like that's not as big of a deal as the rain was a few of those rounds ago, but all right, 7 iron. Struck it pretty good. That's gonna be, should be a little bit of a fade, and that might be too much. It might be off the back. Stay. Oh, just off the back. 190. That's gonna be a +3, I think, unfortunately, and it is, so that's gonna be a bogey. Actually struck that pretty good, so we'll take it. Probably should have just hit the 8 iron, but all right, third hole, par 5. I don't love this water, but that will probably be we'll take that into account the second or third shot here. So we're +1 through 2. I'm gonna aim up here about 290. It's down 12 yards, so this is gonna play 12 yards longer. So if I hit it about 175 or 275 rather, it's actually going to play closer to like 287. So I'm going to aim up there to the right, kind of a narrow fairway, but we'll see what happens here. Struck it good, but it came out low and to the right. That's going to be pretty far right. Decent swing on it though. We'll get it straightened out here eventually. .296, looks like we got it to work out. We're in the rough, however, so this is going to be a little bit of a tricky shot with the water here. So we got 241. I think I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna aim up here to the left side just in case. Usually my hybrids, I'm gonna hit a hybrid here. Usually they fade. So luckily, or hopefully we'll carry this water and then come up somewhere either on the green or just short left maybe. So we're at, where we're aimed is 244 down 8. So we're looking at 236, but then we're gonna need another, we'll call it 25 yards on top of that because we're in the rough. So 256. About 270. I'm gonna hit the 3 hybrid. Looks like we have some room up there, so even if I hit this about 250-ish, we should be able to carry that water and then have ourselves with a decent look for our third shot into this par 5. Granted, we make some decent contact. thin, low and left, but that should be, I would think, about 230, 240. And it was actually closer to 250 because remember, it says 223, but you gotta add the 25 yards on top of it because we were in the rough. So it was actually about 250. It wasn't the best strike, but we'll take it. It's dry, however, we're in the bunker. So again, I say it almost every single time now. It says 20% reduction. In my experience, greenside bunkers play closer to like to 40 to 60% reduction, and then fairway bunkers are like 30 to 50% reduction. So 26 down 1, we're at 25. 20% of that would be 5 yards, 40% would be 10 yards. So I think it's going to play closer to like 15 yards here, which would be about 40 yards total. So I'm going to go 52 degree, try to play, basically I have a 50-yard shot in my head that I usually play with this club. Just going to take a little bit off of it. That wasn't, I didn't put a whole lot on it. That came out left. That was probably only, that might be short still. Oh, that came up long. +3, yikes. Well, that one didn't seem like it played as long. 4th hole, par 4. We've got 376. 263 where we're aimed, down 7 yards. So right there, although it says 285, it's going to actually play 7 yards longer than that. So I think I'm going to aim right up here, just past this bunker on the right. Hopefully turn one over a little bit of a draw. A little bit high on the club face, but it's not too bad. Should be relatively straight, come back to the left. Didn't get a whole lot on it, but 284 and what I say 7 yards, so that was realistically about 277 or so, something like that. All right, second shot, let's see if we can stick the screen. We got 101 yards down 1, so we need 100 pretty much on the dot. Gonna go at choke down pitching wedge again. Let's see if I can get the feel for this club. That was left, and that might be too much. I swung a little bit harder on that one. That might be long left. Yep. 20 yards long left. So, going back over the green, that was a waste of a stroke. 20 yards, down 2, so this is going to roll out a little bit when it hits as well. So we're at 18, and then 10% that's going to be, we'll call it 2 yards there. So we're right at 20 again. I'm going to go 60 degree, just because we have a little bit of that downslope. I think it's going to roll out a few yards once it hits. But 60 degree, try to hit something right around 15, 20 yards or so. Hit behind it a tad. That's going to be a little bit left as well, but that should be on the green. Decent shot. We're going to get a +1. We did. Alright, we'll take the par on that. 5th hole, we get a par 3. 207 up 3, so we're at 210. I'm gonna go 4-iron. That's 4-iron territory. I don't usually make the best contact with my 4-iron, but most likely I could probably muscle up a 5 and get it there, which I do hit more consistent and make better contact with, but 4-iron's probably a better yardage, and then debating going possibly 5 hybrid, but that's more of a 220, 230 club. That'll be way too much. So let's see if we can get a good, relatively smooth strike here with the 4-iron. Hit it pretty good. Started to the middle and it's gonna fade right. Hopefully it's not too much. Ugh. Decent number, just faded a little too much. 211, it's right about pin high, but we're in the bunker now, so 12 yards. Down 1, we're at 11. Luckily this isn't gonna make a whole lot of difference because we're so close, but I'll play, I guess, to like 40%, so what would that be? 20% would be, we'll call it 3 yards. 6 yards would be about 40. So we need about 15, 16, 17 yards, something like that. Gonna go 60 degree. Heavy again. I think I'm picking my head up and I'm pulling up on it a little bit. Hitting behind the ball. It's gonna be on the green, but par again. Alright, 6th hole. We're 2 over. Not too bad for a Pete Dye course. A little bit of a narrow fairway here. We got 337 par 4, down 15 yards, so I like that. So right there is actually at 300. I could basically hit a 285 yard drive and it'll go out to 300. So let's see if we can do that. We're gonna aim right there, just slightly right up towards that bunker, have something draw back, see if we can get a good swing on it. Take advantage of this downslope. Off the heel, that's going to be low and overcooked left, but we did aim right, so hopefully it's still somewhat salvageable out there. Not the best, 292, but again, that was what, 15 yards I said, so realistically that was only about 275 or so, a little bit more than that, but 46 yards, up 1, so we're at 47, and then 10% in the rough, we'll add another 5, so we're at 52. Gonna go 52 degree. Just put a little bit extra on it here. Hit behind it a little bit again. It's gonna be straight. Hopefully that catches the front side of the green. A little bit long. +2 though. We'll take the par. Tough to tell sometimes if just because the weather's warmer, maybe my back's feeling a little bit better, I'm swinging a tad quicker, or sometimes maybe just the R10 is slightly off from day to day. That one didn't seem like it was gonna. That one seemed like it was gonna be a little bit short, maybe about 45 yards versus the 50 or 52 that we needed, and actually came up 54. So probably a little bit of both, but. 7th hole, par 4. Down 14 yards, 13 yards there. I like these down slopes. Much rather have that than hitting up into fairways, but we're gonna aim right about there and have something hopefully come back into the fairway to the left. Driver hasn't been horrendous so far, but I'd like to really feel like I hit one good here. That was better. Still a little low on the club face, started right, should come back left, I would think. That was probably, it felt like about 275, 280. Probably be a little bit more with that down slope, but not sure if we caught that tree. The rough definitely killed the rollout, but 127 up 7, so we're at 134, and then we'll add another 13 to that, so 144, 147. Out of the rough, I can't tell. I think we're just in front of these trees, maybe. I don't know if we're gonna hit these trees, but I'm gonna go a slightly choked down 9-iron. Usually 9-iron on course is about 155 or so. So if I choke down about an inch on this, should take off a little bit of distance, put a nice smooth swing on it, get something right in there about 145, 150. Again, I could probably muscle up a pitching wedge and get it there, but generally not the best strategy if you can just grab an extra club or half a club. Started a tad left, should fade back to the right. Hopefully I didn't put too much on it. Should be a decent shot. Ooh, just short. I'm assuming that was definitely further than 113. I know we're out of the rough, but I'm assuming we might have caught some of that tree. Actually, I hit that halfway decent, so either way, unfortunately we're not on the green, but we have 13 yards left, up 1, so we're at 14, and then we'll add another, call it 2 yards on top of that, so 15. Gonna go 60 degree. Hopefully put something inside that inner circle, save par. Well, at least I didn't hit it super fat, but that one came out a little hot to the left. That might be a tad long left, and it is. Bogey, unfortunately, after a couple pars in a row. 8th hole, par 4, 399, no slope, so this would be a true test of, or I guess we're up 1 there. This would be a true test of how far we actually hit one here on a flat fairway. The stance mat's been holding up pretty good lately, but it seems like there's one little portion over here where the artificial turf is partly coming unglued just a little bit. But I did have a plan when I put these out. I figured probably where I stand the most part, especially my left foot and turning my right foot over here, I can just switch some of these tiles around, maybe move this tile up here that's top left back here and get some more use out of them. That was better as the ball gets stuck in the net. That one should be a good 275, I would think, if not a little more. Struck that pretty good. Still a tad low on the club face, but I'd rather have that than popping it up. Well, I was messing around with the net over there. I didn't see what the total yardage was, but we're in the bunker. We caught the bunker. I guess it didn't draw back left a whole lot. So we got 126 down 5, so we're at 121, and then 20% of that is going to be 24 yards. So it's got to play at least probably 30-35 yards on top of the 121. So I think I'm going to go 9-iron, take a full swing with a 9. That'll be about 155, 160 out of this bunker. Still might come up short, but we'll see. It's still, again, unfortunately, somewhat of a guessing game with the yardage that you need out of these bunkers. Still can't tell, I mentioned it before, I can't tell if they take into account the type of sand and like how big some of the lips are and whatnot of some of the bunkers. If the GPS, the Garmin mapping knows that, maybe that has some effect on it too, I don't know. But from my experience, everything plays a good amount longer than the 20% it says. Climbed up the club face a little bit. That's going to be, depending on what happens with that yardage, maybe short right. We're on, but alright, 9th hole, we're 3 over through 8, not too bad. See if we can get a couple birds here, going into this back 9. So, 448, 9th hole, we got a dog leg right. Let's see if I can, we're hitting up 5 yards into this fairway, so if I aim right about there and draw it back just a little bit, it's probably a decent line right there. Hopefully we don't catch any of those trees, but club twisted when I hit that. That's gonna nosedive to the left. That was a pretty poor strike. Club face closed itself when I made contact on that. Caught the fairway though, 253-yard nosedive. So we got 226 left, down 3. So we're at 223. I'm gonna go 5 hybrid and aim slightly left here on the green. Usually my hybrids fade, so hopefully put a decent strike here on the 5 hybrid and stick this green. Struck it pretty good. That should fade. Hopefully it's not too much. That could be closer to 230, 235. Alright, backside of the green, 236. I hit that pretty good though. I'll take that all day long for the 5 hybrid off the deck. And a birdie for the 9th hole. Alright, onto the back 9. 10th hole, par 4. Looks relatively straight, but probably pretty long. We've got 436 yards, down 10 yards again. So maybe not, I've been aiming a little farther right than I probably should. I'm gonna aim just slightly right on this one. See if I can actually hold on to the club this time when I make contact with the ball. Not the best, that was still towards the heel. Hopefully that doesn't overcook left. And it did, but at least we're in somewhat of an opening. 273 though. I guess it was down again, so it wasn't quite that, but struggling to find the middle of the club face once again with the driver. Second shot, we got 166 down 2, so we're at 164, and then 10% on that is going to be, we'll call it 17 yards, so 174, 181, I believe, if I did my math correct, which should be a nice smooth 7. A little thin, and that's gonna, I kind of push that right, but should be up there. Hopefully it's not too much. Don't know about that one. I feel like I hit that decent. I don't know why it came up that short. I don't know if we caught something, possibly maybe a tree or something. Maybe we brushed it going by. That one felt like that should have been pretty close to within about 5-10 yards of 180, unless I did my math wrong there. But so we're just in the fairway. We got 41 up 2, so we need 43 yards. I'm gonna go 52 degree, choke down a little bit more on it for my kind of stock 50-yard shot. Pulled it left. It might be a tad short, but I would think that would be on the green somewhere short left. Or long left. Still struggling, I guess, with the feel of this club, but at least it's on the green for a +2. Bogey to start the back. Alright. 11th hole, par 4, 334, and down 21 yards on top of that. So, we're not going to quite get it there, but we may get relatively close here, depending on how we hit this. If I aim right about there, maybe a little bit this way, cut the corner a little bit, have it come back to the left, that's down 23 yards, which is a lot. So, hopefully hit this one good, have a little baby draw on it, and just have a short little wedge left into this green. Struck it decent. Hopefully it comes back. That one was kind of tough. It seemed relatively straight, started right. Tough to tell if some of those have a draw on them, and it looked like it did, I guess, a little bit. Got it to work. All right, 38 yards, really close to 15K, congratulations. 38 yards, down 2, we got 36, and then 10% on that, we'll call it another 4. So we're at 40 yards. Let's see, gonna go 52 degree again. Maybe, I've been coming up long, maybe I should start hitting the 56 from about 40 yards. Put a little bit more on my 30-yard shot versus taking a little bit off of my 50-yard. It's going to be the same as the other one. That might be a little long left. I don't feel like I'm swinging very hard at him though. 35, yeah, see that one was more of what I would kind of feel like. But we'll take the bird. #12th hole, par 5. Oh boy. So we got 568 yards, down 20 yards again into this fairway. I don't love these trees here on the right, so I don't want to start it that far right. I got to keep this relatively straight. I'm gonna aim, I think, right up there maybe. There's a chance we catch some of those trees on the left, but I'm afraid if I started any further right, we're not gonna barely get off this tee box, so. Not terrible. High on the cliff face, and it's going to overcook pretty far left. Hopefully it's not any penalty areas in the left. We're in the rough, 296. What if it hits in the trees? Oh, yeah. I didn't know if you meant the trees on course or the trees here. Yeah, there's a net back there that I'm hitting into. I do sometimes hit it up and over the net though, which you might see. As for the trees here on the simulator, usually they're more forgiving. Obviously you don't have crazy bounces like you do on course, but usually if you catch the trees, it kind of just slows it down. You see some leaves kind of spray up from the tree, and it takes some yardage off. And then sometimes if you really hit like directly the base of the tree, it just bounces off the tree, which is unfortunate, but hopefully it doesn't happen here. Although these trees here on the left in front of the bunker are kind of worrisome, so I think I'm just going to aim a little bit right about there. We still have got 280 left, so I'm going to hit my 3 hybrid. Definitely not going to be able to get it there, but I'm going to try to put something close. Poor swing. That's probably in those trees. Came across that a lot. Barely made contact with that. That was really far left. Terrible. I think that might have gone right off the tree. And we have to do that again. So at this point I should probably just take my medicine and punch out here, because I guess I could go this way. Maybe I'll do this and then fade it back. Yeah, we'll go that way. Kind of playing with fire there over there by the edge of the map, but have ourselves in a not so great spot here after that shot. That was better. Hopefully we get lucky with those trees. That should be about, granted we were in the rough, but 250-ish maybe, not quite. Unsung Hero 50, thank you for the TikTok 25 things. I don't know exactly know what those means, but I appreciate it. 68 yards up 2, and again, I know on TikTok, guys, the screen's a little blurry because it's focusing on, the camera's focusing on me hitting the ball versus the screen here, so I know it's a little tough to see, but until I guess TikTok gives me a streaming key or whatever, and I can bring out a laptop or something and do like a split screen, this is unfortunately kind of where we're at. But appreciate it again, Unsung Hero, for the gift. Maybe that'll I can afford some better equipment out here. 68 yards up 2, so we're at 70 yards, and then 10% on that's going to be another 7, so we need 77. This, whoever was talking about the net, 77 yards, that's going to be more of a fuller 52 degree here. So I'm going to switch out the ball, and there's a decent chance this goes up and over the net. So 77 yards. Let's see what happens yardage-wise there. Ooh, decent shot. All right, we'll take that. Gonna be a rough hole, but I think we're on the green for a +2. Bogey, unfortunately, but all right. 13th hole, par 4. Hole, par 4. We got a big dog leg right with water up there. It's basically, we're hitting, like, by the looks of it, down into like a gully here. I think we're gonna aim right about there. Should come up short of that water, so we'll see what happens. This is a tricky, starting to get more of those tricky layouts for some of these holes. Again, Unsung Hero, if you're still here, I really appreciate that gift. I'm gonna have to look up to see what that is. I don't know if that's like 25 cents or like $25. If one of you in there that knows what he sent, or if he or she are still in there, let me know what it is. I'd appreciate it. I remember seeing there's a graphic online of what some of the gifts mean, but I know you can send, like, there was Halloween stuff. Now there's probably going to be like Thanksgiving and Christmas things that like pop up on the screen, but I gotta do some more research. But let's see if we can get a good drive here. And hopefully that didn't register with the R10. I'm gonna switch out this T. One of those pegs is broken on there. Decent swing, started right. Hopefully it comes back, but that may have just been a push right. We shall see here in a second. All right, decent shot. We'll take that all day long. 307, just into the rough, short of the water. Okay, I appreciate Unsung Hero. He said, I don't really know what you make per gift, but I can buy 300 for $5. I'm sure TikTok takes some. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I think I saw they take like 50%, but the simulator is called the Garmin Approach R10. It's about $600 for the unit, and then the software here is within the Garmin Golf app. It's $10 a month to be able to play this, but you get access to Unsung Hero, sent confetti, appreciate it. You get access to about 42,000 real courses, which is pretty cool. All right, second shot, 83 yards, down 2, so we're at 81, and then 10% of that we'll call another 8-9 yards, so we're looking right at 90. I'm gonna go pitching wedge. Really need to get pretty much all of that of carry so we don't put this in the water, but I'm gonna do basically a 100-yard shot with the pitching wedge and take a little bit off of it, or at least that's the game plan. That came out pretty straight. I hit it decent. That might, if anything, it's going to be long, but that should get over the water. Oh, wow. Maybe not. 74? I don't know about that, but +3, unfortunately. Yeah, I think in my opinion, the Garmin R10 is pretty much, it's not the bottom of the line simulator, but it's definitely a budget launch monitor. And in my opinion, it's the best bang for the buck that you can get. We're looking at almost the similar accuracy as like a Mevo, which is about 2,000 to 3,000, a Mevo Plus, pretty close to that. And then even if you compare them to, there's tons of videos online to comparisons with simulators of like Unicore, which is about 10,000, or even GC Quad and TrackMan, which are like 20 to 30,000. The Garmin holds its own for literally a fraction of the price. Pretty tough to beat. It's portable. You can bring it to the driving range, hit balls, and it has a driving range feature too, that if you just want to go and practice, you can just basically hit balls onto a range, kind of like Topgolf almost. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Definitely, in my opinion, worth the money to be able to practice in the backyard, or if you set it up indoors. All right, we're 4 over through 13. 14th hole, par 3. We got 165 up 1, so we got 166. And I don't love this river that runs all the way along this. So 166. I'm gonna go, that's right between a 9 and an 8. I'm gonna go not even a soft 8, just a smooth 8. Pulled it a little left. Hopefully that fades and doesn't go into that water. It should be pretty close to the distance, but it's going to be left. All right, left side of the green. +2, we'll take the par. +15th hole, we got a par 4, 383 yards. Let's see what we're looking at here for the layout. Slight dogleg right. We're gonna aim up here, just slightly right side of this fairway, hopefully draw one back. That was struck pretty good. That may fade, unfortunately, and we aimed right, but that should be relatively straight. And I hit that pretty close to the middle of the club face. I think that might have, well, it came back a little bit. 290, we'll take that all day long. Unsung hero, if you're still in here or anyone else that is curious, the way that I put it with the R10 is you're not going to see the pros using this launch monitor simulator. You're not going to see pros use it, and you probably wouldn't want to go and get fitted for new clubs using it. But everyone besides that, basically, if you're not a like semi-professional golfer or like a scratch golfer to where you can hit your clubs on the dot to within like a few yards each, it's probably pretty decent for you. So like I would say 95% of the golfers out there, you'd be able to get some good use out of it. But if you're looking for precision accuracy, maybe this isn't quite the unit for you, but that's what you get for a severely lower price than 20 or 30,000. 95 yards. We're in the rough, so we got 91. Gonna be another one of those pitching wedge shots. We'll see here. So far, I've been pretty happy with the purchase, though. I think I've already gotten well worth of $600. Granted, the mat and all the nets and everything else is probably gonna add another couple $100 depending on the quality that you get. But I think I've probably gotten my $600 worth of the unit this summer alone. It's gonna be slightly right. Hopefully that's not too much. A little long. 11 yards long maybe, but we're on the green. Should be a +2, luckily. We'll take another par. 16th hole, par 3. Alright, 222 up 2, so we're at 224. I'm going to go 5 hybrid. I don't love that water there on the left, so even though I usually fade that hybrid, I'm going to aim slightly right on this green just to give ourselves a little more margin of error room over there on the left. But if I hit a good 5 hybrid here, that should get us pretty close. Hopefully stick this green. Heavy, and I hung that out way right. At least it's not going to be in the water, but that's not going to be even close to the green, I wouldn't think. Pretty poor strike there. Well, at least we're not in the bunker. We got 37 yards down 1, so we're at 36, and then the rough will add another 4 there, so we're right at 40 yards. Gonna stick with the 52, I guess. Gonna be left side. Who knows again. I feel like I'm hitting them, taking a little bit off those 50-yard shots. See, and that one was a little bit similar. The other ones seemed like they were coming up. They were a little bit longer than 50. That one was more of what I felt like, so maybe the R10 was just getting a little buggy there for a couple shots. But 17th hole, par 4. We've got 451 yards. Dogleg right. This is a long par 4. We're gonna aim right about there. Hopefully hit a good driver here. Decent swing. Started a little right on the net. Hopefully it comes back. If it does, that should be relatively straight down the middle. And it is. We'll take that all day long. 308. Granted, I know we were hitting down again into it, but still, anything, even with the slope, anything around 300 or more, I'll take that all day long. Second shot here, we got 159 down 8. We're in the fairway, so no reduction in power from the rough, so we're right at 151. I'm gonna go left side of this green just because I get scared of the water, and I'm gonna go nice smooth 9-iron. That might be off the green. I aimed left and I pulled that left. Yep, that's tough. If I just aimed straight on that, that probably would have caught the left side of the green, but it is what it is. That's what happens when I let the water get into my head. And now we're in the bunker. So we've got 18 yards down 1. So it's gonna roll out just a little bit, but not much. So we're at 17. And then 10% of that, we'll call that 2. So 20% would be 4. I think it's gonna play at least 8. So, what was that, 25? I think I need basically a 25, 30-yard shot here. I'm gonna go 56. Depending on what this does out of the bunker, I'm gonna basically just hit a 30-yard shot, and that should at least catch the back of the green, depending on how much it decides to take off. Not too bad. Tad long, but we'll take the +2. Bogey. Alright, let's see if we can play this 18th hole with a par or a bird here. Par 5. .492. We're looking at a dog leg left, I believe. So, up 9 yards. I'm going to aim, meaning it's going to play 9 yards shorter wherever I hit this. So, I'm going to play it pretty much right at that bunker there. It should come back just a little bit. Maybe a little bit further right. Ideally, I can split those bunkers there. There's a smaller one left and a larger one where we're aimed. A little low on the club face and off the heel. Started right, hopefully it comes back left. Hopefully that wasn't a straight push. This is a draw bias driver, so I would say, yeah, it looks like it came back a little bit. Not the best strike, but granted it was what, 9-10 yards playing up, so that was about 275 on a flat fairway. This is a draw based driver, so I would say 75% of them should come back at least a little bit, but sometimes I still just push them right and they don't come back. I mentioned it before, but if you guys, I use TaylorMades. Not all manufacturers are the same, but generally speaking, most of them are. If you have an adjustable driver or any adjustable clubs like a 3-wood or a hybrid, if you raise the loft on it, so I have a 9, what is this, either a 9 or a 9.5. It's a 9.5 degree driver, and I have it turned up to the higher setting, so that's either putting, I'd have to double check, either an extra degree or maybe a degree and a half of loft, but so you add the loft, but actually with TaylorMades and some other manufacturers as well, when you raise the loft on it, it closes the club face. So if you're a notorious slicer of the ball, which I used to be and still kind of am sometimes, raising the lofts on your clubs will actually help to close the club face, and you should be able to hit a little bit straighter. All right, second shot, we've got 241 up 8. I don't know what that big boom was. We're gonna, I guess, leave it straight, and I'm gonna hit, so we need 249. I'm gonna go 3 hybrid. There's a chance this comes up long, but usually my 4 hybrid is about 240, and then my 3 hybrid is about 250, 260, and on occasion 270. So depending on how we hit this, we'll see, but should at least be in the ballpark, I would think. It was relatively straight. It's gonna fade right, but I caught that heavy. I hit the mat first. Yeah, short right. Not the best strike there. The one thing I was telling my buddy when we were out here a couple days ago, that I really like the Country Club Elite mat because I can hit down into it and I can put tees into it and whatnot, and there's a good amount of padding between the rubber underneath and the pretty thick turf. But if you do catch it heavy, it really grabs your club and slows it down a good amount compared to like regular grass that you would see on course. All right, 21 yards, no reduction in power from the rough, and there's no slope, so I'm just gonna go 60 degree, see if we can stick this green ideally within a +1 circle, and get out of here with a halfway decent score. Should be relatively close. Maybe a tad long. Yeah, a tad long. That's gonna be a +2. Was that a bogey? Par. That's right, it was a par 5. All right, well, I'm gonna grab some Gatorade real quick before we take a look at this final score. So, from Rancho Santa Fe Farms Golf Club in Santa Fe, California. Again, this was a Pete Dye design course, completed in 1988, I believe it was. We ended up with a 6/78. So not too bad. 38 on the front, 40 on the back. A little bit worse on the back, but was doing some talking and whatnot, which kind of limited some of the focus. But it is what it is. Not too bad for a 6/0 for a somewhat challenging Pete Dye course. 5 out of 14 fairways. Wasn't hitting driver particularly well. We hit a couple that went pretty long, but felt like I wasn't making the best contact, so that's low. We want to be at least 7 out of 14 there. Greens and regulation, we'll take that right at 50%. And then the putts, also a little bit on the high side, 33 across 18. That's right between 1.5, 2 putts. Pretty much closer to 2 putts, so not the best golf, but it wasn't horrendous either, so can't be too mad at a 6/78. But I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna try to play a couple more rounds back here, I think, today with the nicer weather. But if you guys have any course recommendations, let me know in the comments. Just give me the name of the course and the location, and if you've played it or heard of it, there's a very high chance that I'll be able to play it back here. You can look through some of my videos on YouTube that I've done a bunch of the subscriber and viewer requested courses. So again, let me know. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Maybe share the video. It really helps out the channel. And I'll see you guys at the next course.